Far Cry 1 has some of the most broken AI in FPS history. Enemies hear you from across the map, shoot through bushes, and somehow always know where you are. And I decided to beat it on the hardest difficulty. No cheats, no God mode, just pure pain. Let's begin. I start the game off as a guy named Jack Carver, and for some reason I'm passed out inside of a sewer and have to figure out what's going on. And here's a guy who died dabbing. There's no better way to go than that. This cowboy hat wearing bad guy who's insulting his underling is named Crow, and he's likely going to be a boss fight later on.
Who are you?
I'm the guy who's going to tell you how to survive. Since I know you're there, I could have ratted you out already.
After talking to the man on the comlink, I pick up my first weapon and some armor. Then I leave the bunker and make my way down to the houses below. Inside the first building, I get the machete, which is useful for taking out enemies quietly. However, I won't be keeping it for very long, because attacking someone with a blade is less useful than just shooting them in the face. Up ahead, I obtained some binoculars which I used to survey the outpost across the river. Here's a summary of this section. I sneak up this tower and eliminate this guy with the machete. I shoot this guy from afar so no one hears me, then I swim around the edge of the outpost and shoot every mercenary in the face. It took a few tries before I succeeded, but I finally pulled it off. With the last enemy defeated, I made my way to the next section. There was one more, and now I have to redo the outpost. After several more attempts, I completely cleared the outpost and could finally progress to the next section. Little did I know that Far Cry was about to rip me a fresh one this early in the game. You'll see what I mean. Oh boy, I hope I can find a change of underwear, because I got utterly dumped on here. Please enjoy this death montage to summarize this section. As you can see, I tried a different approach, that being exiting my vehicle and shooting the boat first, then finishing off the other enemies afterwards. Of course, this didn't change my situation very much since I still died a lot, but after much trial and error, I finally pulled it off. Finally. After finally clearing that brutal section, I steal the boat and make my way along the coast towards the ship up ahead. I can't move, I'm stuck! I can't get out! After spending another half hour on that previous section, I once again stole the boat, got my revenge, and made my way towards the ship. Next, I surveyed the ship with my binoculars and slowly eliminated each of them from afar with some rockets.
There he is! Fire in the hole!
Inside the ship, I made my way through the interior, eliminating anyone that I encountered. This section took several tries to get through since I didn't have any armor, which meant that I could die almost instantly, and getting into prolonged fights would alert other mercenaries to my position, making it that much harder to survive. Eventually, I managed to eliminate all the mercenaries without them sounding the alarm and alerting the reinforcements. I didn't have any problems with the rest of the ship's interior. I simply eliminated the rest of the mercenaries that I came across and made my way towards the other side of the ship. On the other side of the ship, I entered the room where I was told that I'd find Val, but instead I found some of her belongings and a dossier about some man named Krieger. On the video is a press conference where Krieger explains the convenience of the isolated island where he can continue his research without interference from the outside world. He's totally not the main bad guy of this game. I learned that Val has been taken to a bunker on a heavily guarded island. My next step is to get a boat and meet up with Doyle, who knows where she is.
I'm on my way.
As I was heading towards the boat, I stopped to do a little celebratory spinning. Then I got in and sailed off into the horizon. This next mission was relatively easy, so I'll summarize it. Here, I demonstrate why I'm not keeping the machete, and prove once more that shooting the enemy in the face is far more effective. I throw a rock and get insta-killed with full health and armor, get lucky that this guy didn't see me, regain my health and armor and found a sniper rifle. Up ahead I steal a vehicle and use it against the mercenaries. I eliminate this guy. I don't eliminate this guy. He actually throws a grenade and eliminates me, causing me to redo this whole section off screen. This sniper kills me, giving me superpowers. So this is how Far Cry AI is able to shoot me through bushes and see me no matter where I am. I pick up the rocket launcher, shoot the boat, shoot the first helicopter, shoot the second helicopter. How do they not explode? I enter the bunker and a cutscene plays. Apparently Krieger is experimenting on test subjects which gives them superhuman qualities but makes them hard to control. So, he's gonna put his DNA into the mutagen and hope that they will obey him, which definitely won't backfire. I eliminate this guy and take his keycard, obtain these explosives, which I use to blow up the satellite, and the mission was over. Starting the next mission, I stole a paraglider and traveled as far as I could with it. Then I made my way up the trail towards the tower where I surveyed the outpost in the distance. Here's a summary of how this outpost went. Apparently I missed a sniper. There we go. Or not. I can do this all day. The rest of this mission was pretty easy. I just took out some enemies along the road, then made my way down to the docks and took out those enemies, and finished the mission.
You must be Jack.
How did you know that?
I've been expecting you.
That's a little creepy.
Do not engage the Trojans. Repeat, do not engage the Trojans.
Ow, what the? Oh no, you stay away from me. You stay away. Whoa. Close the door. Close it! Ugh. They can open doors.
Permission sensing. Come in. Your message has been received.
So far, the game doesn't feel too hard. I just have to plan ahead, think smart, take it slow, and shoot first. There might be occasional difficulty spikes, but that's nothing I can't handle, right? Well, Far Cry 1 is about to change that opinion, and it's gonna be miserable. Once inside, I made my way down the elevator and took out some enemies in the makeshift laboratory, and it looks like they were working on something. Oh heck no.
Whoa! What the heck is that?
What are you seeing?
I have absolutely no idea.
So then, continuing my way to the facility, I taunt these mutants, which totally won't get revenge later. I obliterate these mercenaries with the minigun. I take out these guys, but not this guy. I reach the outside of the facility, and that's the end of this mission. Jack sees Val being escorted onto a helicopter and grabs on while it's taking off. This guy tries to shoot Jack. Val dropkicks him out of the helicopter, then kicks Jack in the face and jumps out into the water after him.
Valerie Constantine, CIA.
Now that's an entrance. Starting off, I sneak inside one of the houses and steal some Crytek goggles, which will be extremely useful. Then I hijack a vehicle and continue to the next section. Once I pushed through, I restocked my health and armor, took these guys out in one hit, then came to this section. Here is where the pain will truly commence. I started off by making my way down the left path. This usually resulted in me getting spotted by a mercenary from far away, which led to having a shootout against endless troops, and ultimately ending in... So, after several failed attempts, I instead worked my way down the right side, and over the next 10 minutes, I steadily made progress. Oh my gosh. After catching up off screen, I eliminated the foreman and a cutscene played. Jack contacted Doyle and told him the schematics of the regulator. Then Doyle said he would tell Jack where to go.
Good hunting, Jack.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for. This is where it all starts to fall apart. Let me show you everything I have to do in this section. There are 3 keycards I must pick up. First this orange one. Then I must turn this valve to release the gas so I can go down the hallway. Then I open this door and turn this valve using the orange keycard. In this room, I pick up 2 other keycards which I can use to unlock the other doors and turn those valves. Once I've turned all 3 valves, the steam will be released from the hallway up ahead, allowing me to enter the room into the next section. It seems simple enough. Let's see how well it goes. Bruh, from behind. Huh, I got you this time.
Well done.
I need help.
I got more of this! You're dead! Did you hear that?
What the freak? I'm taking my time. It took like 8 attempts to get back here. Oh, nice.
Okay, I'm here.
As he
That should do it.
I would have been so mad if he caught me off guard and I had to redo everything. This section almost made me quit. I died more times here than anywhere else in the entire game up until this point. What should have been a 1-minute section took me over half an hour to beat. It was pure pain. Let's dig up some past trauma and watch the death compilation together, shall we? Did that even kill anyone? Dude, they have so much health. Not even a chance. Okay, this is working. I hear someone. And there you have it. I slowly and carefully moved up, staying alert in case there was one more enemy, like before. I hear someone. Once I determined the area was safe, I made my way to the next location. This next mission was a long mission, not because it was very difficult, but because it was just long. So, I'm gonna skip all the boring driving and get to the part where I die a lot. Be the end of the mission, right? Yep. This mission went very smoothly, and nothing interesting happened. The AI was broken, but in a good way. Well, this mission was easy. Let's see how the next one goes. Oh, frick no. After that lovely start to this next mission, I made my way through the facility, eliminating both men and mutants, whatever stood in my path. Heck no, I'm not going through this again. A few minutes of going down hallways here and corridors there, along with the occasional fight between Spec Ops and mutants, and I was at the next major section. This section sucked. It would take a full minute to swim up here and crawl through the vents to this spot. And this guy killed me about a dozen times. It was very tedious. All the way back here.
Good call, Doyle.
Come on, you bastards! You want some of this?
Val!
Seriously? Let me guess. Yeah, I thought so.
That's got it. Good call, Doyle.
Now that Jack is reunited with Val, Doyle tells us that Krieger set up a jammer that keeps us from making external contact. Jack sets off to destroy it while Val heads to Krieger's main laboratory. We just got back together and we're already splitting up. This next mission, I start by quietly eliminating everyone in this camp. Then I pick up some explosives. The next step is to take out these guys, steal the boat, and eliminate all these enemies from a safe distance before going in. Oh, that's perfect. Now with that done, I go ashore and carefully eliminate the rest of the enemies, taking my time since I have to do all of this on one checkpoint. Next, I eliminate these enemies so I can go into the bunker and blow up the tower, making sure to clear the area so it's safe to plant the explosives. What?
Okay, Doyle. I've got the explosives.
The first tower should be to the north.
That was 18 minutes of progress that I just lost. Well, time to do all this off screen.
1 hour later.
Back at the tower, I took out the engineer and set the explosives.
Done.
The next two towers were much faster to destroy, and nothing interesting happened.
That should do it. Are we finished here?
After destroying all three towers, I made my way to the ship up ahead to destroy the final jammer. Afterwards, Crow showed up and I had my first boss fight. After defeating Crow, the mission ended. I start the mission by taking out some enemies and blowing up the entrance to this temple. I was stuck on this mission for quite a while. Here's the highlights. Stuck! Get up! Get up!
This place is crawling with trigens.
Oh no. No way. No. Can't go that way. Ah. What the? Finally. Gosh. This mission pretty much consisted of me sailing down the rivers and taking out enemies either from my boat or from the shore. So let's skip ahead. I head down the river, take out some more mercenaries, encounter Crow's camp, and eliminate him once and for all. Krieger calls in to check up on Crow, Jack taunts Krieger, then I disable the actual final jammer, and Val shows up. We discover the location of where the Trigen serum is manufactured, and that there's a small nuke there in case they need to destroy it and cover their tracks.
Thanks, Crow. You just made this real easy.
With that said, the mission was over, and this cutscene played.
Just keep your eyes on the jungle, Jack.
It looks like someone was thirsty, and not just for the waterfall. Anyway, let's move on to the next mission, because it's gonna be a memorable one. After everything I dealt with, this was the breaking point. This vehicle section is awful. The enemies can kill you instantly, whereas you have to shoot them multiple times to take them out. It is very hard to aim accurately while the vehicle is moving. On top of that, this is a 2-minute section that you have to get through in one go without dying. After dozens of attempts, with no other choice, I had to employ the forbidden technique. I turned on God mode. I just had to get through this impossible section. There was no other way. What would have been 28 deaths later, we arrived at the next section.
Location of the main security terminal.
Stand by. I'm flashing you the coordinates now.
Over there!
What are you doing?
Open sesame. Move it.
You just single-handedly got rid of all of my armor. Up ahead, we took out some enemies and stole a forklift to carry the arming device. Next, Doyle tells us that we might get infected by the mutagen when we detonate the nuke, and that we should find an antidote inside the compound to negate the effects.
Let's prep the nuke, and then we can go grab the serum.
What is this? A bad spy movie? You two are gonna get us all killed.
This part of the mission went very smoothly, and I completed it on my first attempt. Here's some clips from it. Bro, drive faster, come on. Okay. I think he's already dead.
Doyle, we're inside the lab.
Okay, antidote time. Look for a red case with a biohazard symbol. Inject the serum into your neck.
I've had worse. Let's move. Move it. Hurry up. Follow me, Jack. Go, go!
After using the serum, we escape the compound before the nuke explodes. After passing out, Jack wakes up on a helicopter and notices that Krieger has captured him and Val. Krieger kicks Jack out of a helicopter and leaves him to fend for himself in a forest full of mutants.
Thanks.
After reaching the base, Jack notices that he's getting infected despite taking the antidote. It turns out there was a containment leak that polluted the air. Doyle tells Jack that Krieger's also infected but is taking a treatment to prevent spreading the mutagen. Now, Jack plans to get the serum from Krieger.
Ask nicely. I wouldn't say he's completely human.
Bro, I have like no health. After dealing with that welcoming committee, I regained my health and armor, then proceeded into the next area.
You all right?
Do I look all right?
I wouldn't worry about it, my dear. You won't live long enough to see what happens next.
Yes, the boss fight was that easy. After defeating Krieger, Jack asks him where the antidote is, to which Krieger replies that he doesn't have the serum because he wasn't the one who created it. But you know who was?
The old man was always one for melodrama. Too bad he had no head for business.
Doyle, you wouldn't.
Of course I would. Working for the government taught me that where there's a weapon, there's money to be made.
Doyle, unless you give us the antidote, you're not leaving this island alive. Now, I know you won't believe me until I've got a gun pointed at your head, but it's true.
Sorry, Jack, I'm gonna need it. Forgive me if I don't shake your hand.
I'm coming for you, buddy.
This section took a very long time to get through because I had to take out every single mutant in order to progress, and there were about 5 or 6 big brutes to eliminate, and as we know, they have a lot of health. This was Far Cry's last middle finger to me before the game was over. After dying here, I had dozens of attempts and many wasted minutes before I stopped recording and picked it back up right after I defeated the mutants. I died a few times in this section as well, but it wasn't nearly as bad as that last section. After taking out these enemies, I made my way to the top to confront Doyle.
This wasn't in your plans, was it, Doyle?
No, please. You don't understand. They sent me. They're always watching. You can't change this. You can't change the future.
Probably not, but I can make sure you're not a part of it. Stupid bastard.
And there you go. I beat Far Cry 1 on the hardest difficulty. Except, it didn't feel like I truly beat it. After all, I cheated. I turned on God mode for the infamous vehicle section. But who could blame me? No one has ever beaten it without cheats. But is this 2-minute section truly impossible to beat without God mode? I decided to find out. I went back and played this section over and over, slowly perfecting every movement and the timing of those movements. And after 2 hours of grinding, I achieved this run.
I'll drive. You handle the gun.
I'm on.
We've got company. We can't go through that. I'll find another route.
Yo, is that it? Did I just freaking do it? Yo, please. Please no more enemies. Please.
Doyle,
Yeah! Let's freaking go, bro. That's right. No cheats, no God mode for the entire game on the hardest difficulty. Let's freaking go.